My childhood crushes. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this dude might have some mid takes, but let's see if you got some mid or W takes. If you got some W takes, man, I'm not gonna lie, I might gotta get on my knees and go, preach, my brother, preach!
Look, I'll just play a little game until Kim's ready to...
Hello,
Okay.
baby.
Nice.
You don't like dressing up. You don't mind, do you?
Give it to me! Give it to me!
Back.
Give it to me!
Yeah.
Give it to me! Just give it!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the most important video you will ever see in your life, bro. Trust
Okay,
me. When we
bet.
think about how entertaining and cool some of our childhood cartoons or TV shows are, it's not just because of the story or the crazy powers or even the crazy moments in the shows. It was low-key because there was some fine shit in the shows, you feel me? Childhood crushes was something we've all had once in our life. Whether you had a girl in your class you were head over heels for, to finding some cartoon characters attractive, or even thinking number 5 and Numberjacks was peng. We don't judge it, man. We don't judge it. Childhood crushes is a
No, whoa. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by pang? I'm not British. I don't know what you mean by pang. What do you mean by number 5 in British with pang? If that means attractive, you like number 5? Hold up. I'm judging your ass real quick. Hold up. I'm judging that ass real quick. Hold up. Your ass is getting judged. Hold up. Now that's freaky as hell. That's all I'm saying. Me first.
a very popular subject amongst all the people there. I mean, back in secondary school, me and my friends would always break into talking about some of the finest women we've ever seen in our lives. Like Megan Fox from Transformers, Jessica Alba from the Fantastic Four movies, to even some of the top tiers no one mentions enough, like Claire from My Wife and Kids. And I'm talking about the second one, bro. I'm not crazy. I'm not talking about the first one. Are you mad? But anyways, I thought I would share some of the
If you talk about the first one, man, you might be crazy. You might be crazy, gang.
baddest childhood crushes I had growing up, because I need to spread awareness about these, man, because I'm telling you, I haven't seen no one talk about them. It's crazy. Like you always hear everybody say Raven and Blackfire, or Kim Possible and She-Go, or Lola Bunny and Mrs. Incredible. And don't get it twisted, I
Where's Zula at, though?
agree with all of these. They my starting lineup for real. But the ones I'm gonna mention in this video are gonna be some of the greatest nostalgia pieces you remember in your entire life, man. But without further explanation, let's jump right into it. Starting with one of the most beautiful ladies to grace the TV screen, Sarah from My Babysitter is a Vampire, fam. I remember when I was a kid, I used to speed run home after school to catch this show. And as much as it was for the cold story,
I ain't never really watched this quirky show with my life before, so I actually don't understand. So I might have to disagree with you in this first one. I ain't never watched this in my life. I don't know nothing about this show. I'm not gonna lie.
characters, it was mostly because I had to catch Sarah on TV. She was too big, fam. Sarah was such a different breed of woman I used to be seeing on the screen when I was a kid. I mean, when I tell you, I was low-key getting stars in my eyes when I was seeing her. That's how crazy it was, man. Not to mention, Sarah wasn't just a regular girl. She was a vampire. And I can't be the only one that had a thing for these vampire girls. They were sick, fam. Marceline, Mavis, and even Sarah. This shit got me feeling wheezy, fam. Sarah is definitely one of the most underrated childhood crushes people don't be mentioning. I remember that one episode in the series that she gets possessed and pulls up in this next different outfit with the curls popping, and this shit had me mesmerized, bro. And y'all remember the episode where she had an evil version of herself with the purple highlights? This had me moving different, fam, I'm telling you. And my boy Ida was pushing some sick game on Sarah. Reminded me of Jordan in game 6 with the way he was pressing onto her, and he eventually took her out on a date on the last episode, fam. That's my boy Ethan. I was cheering for this shit, no joke. But Vanessa Morgan was a different level of fine, and My Babysitter a Vampire was such a sick show. I'm talking about, if you didn't watch this, you were missing out for real. The theme song was fire, the characters were fire, the ladies were pretty as hell, and the story was fire. But there was one problem with the show. One problem that pissed me off so bad.
One problem?
That shit literally stayed with me for the rest of my life, fam. The show ended on a cliffhanger.
They never finished it. Oh my gosh. Yes, for some reason in the early 2000s, we never like to finish our shows. Like, I found that out with anime and every show. Like, think of any show from the early 2000s, I can guarantee you that shit is not finished. But half of the time, that shit has a cliffhanger. Any anime from the early 2000s, cliffhanger. Sekirei, cliffhanger. Tenjo Tenji, cliffhanger. Kenichi the Mighty Disciple, cliffhanger. Flapjack, cliffhanger. Every show's a cliffhanger, I swear. Teen Titans, cliffhanger.
And why? The ending didn't even make no sense. What he did was take down their new school principal who was evil, an explosion happened, and then they just boom to credits. Why? Why
ain't no way.
Got some closure? That ending was trash, man. That shit pissed me off.
Ain't no way.
Getting off track here. Vanessa Morgan is one of the most baddest women I used to see on TV. I was glazing her before I even heard of Jessica Alba, fam. And My Babysitter a Vampire was such a peak show. And if you haven't watched it yet, you need to pick it up, because I'm telling you, that shit is too cool to be missing out on, for real. Going on to my next childhood crush, we have Kida from Atlantis, the Lost Empire. And before I even
Might
going
be
to talking
cooking on
about
this
Kida
one.
more. This has to be the most, and I mean the most underappreciated and ever mentioned Disney animated film of all time. This movie is class. We have Michael J. Fox, Mr. Marty McFly himself, voicing the main character of the movie. The whole story was cool as hell about finding the lost city of Atlantis so they could find the heart to it. Then Milo getting snaked and betrayed by the Mandem. And then the Mandem circling back in 5 seconds, even though they also betrayed Milo. And then finesse Commander Rourke and save Atlantis. And you know what? As great as the movie was, Kida made this experience 110% more enjoyable, fam. Kida was outrageously pretty. It actually needs to be talked about, bro. This tribal look they gave some women back in the animated movie was something that when I was younger, I was preying it differently, fam. Kida is such an underrated Disney princess. When people talk about the princesses, they always be mentioning the mainstream ones like Belle, Jasmine, Tiana, Rapunzel, Elsa, and the list goes on. But you see, Kida?
No one never mentions the shorty from the Hunchback, the Gypsy, bruh. That's all I gotta say.
Might have to be up there. I'm talking about top 5, fam. She was cool in the movie as well. She was vibing with my boy Milo, just talking amongst each other. And
Def is vibing.
The they come from her. Like, she wasn't just a pretty face. She was low-key smart. I was working some of the thieves in the movie as well. And I know you don't know about the swimming scene, bro. That shit was crazy, but I ain't gonna go too tough into that. Kida was a next level childhood crush in my bag, fam. And Kida wasn't the only one in the movie as well. Audrey and Helga were bad too, fam. They were different, but they were snakes, so I don't really rate them as much. But this movie is really a golden egg. No one, and I mean no one, talks about it enough. And you know what? In some cases, it could probably be considered a top 10 Disney animated movie of all time, fam. And if we rate Disney princesses, I'm putting Kida in the top 7, bro. For real, she was peng, fam. But you see the
Someone need to talk about Wonder Woman. Maybe I might gotta make one.
sequel to this movie. This was so trash, bro. It was low-key a disgrace, fam. The animation quality dropped so heavy, you think your eyes were bugging when you watched it, fam. Disney, with their rich asses, decided.
But I'm not gonna lie though, let's be real. For some reason, every Disney movie part 2 is not as good as number 1. I don't think Disney good in like main princess movie sequels.
To cheap out so heavy on this movie and just made it have some TV show quality. This shit was so ass, bro. It pissed me off. I didn't even finish the movie. That's how much I hated it. This shit was trash, man. But guess what? It don't matter, because although the animation quality was shit, Kida was still fine, fam. Another childhood crush I used to have that had me moving different back in the day were all the girls from Ben 10, fam. I'm talking about Gwen, Charmcaster.
Bro, yeah, man, he cooking on that, but he cooking on this one. He's cooking on this one.
Julie, Eunice,
cooking on this one.
Taya, the cat girl, Esther, the sludge puppy girl, Rook's girlfriend, the flipping female forearms. All of them, fam, they were all buff, man. But personally, my favorite out of all of them was Charmcaster, because
I don't blame you. Charmcaster with that for Baddie.
the level of connection I had to her was low-key spiritual, fam. I used to be fiending for Charmcaster back in the day, especially the Alien Force design version. There was something about her, bro, low-key. I remember the first episode she pulled up, and when I saw her design, I was going feral, bro. It was a mad thing. Goth girls back in the day had a hold on everyone. We all know the greats like Blackfire, Raven, She-Go, Mavis, Stock.
Is Blackfire really golf? No, I don't think Blackfire really golf. I just think she's really all black.
Luna, Gwen, Jinx, Claire.
Luna is not from back in the day. Luna is not from back in the day, gang. You snuck her in.
Hey, and I can keep going because they were all fine, fam. And if you didn't like any goth girls, I question you in general. You were probably a weirdo. But this version of Charmcaster made me feel a whole different type of way, bro. In that one episode where she tricked Kevin to get control of him and kissed him in the process of doing that, I was saying to myself, why couldn't that be me, bro? You kissed this ugly ass guy who's half crystal and shit. Why couldn't it be me, fam? I'm crying at this shit. But I was going crazy over Charmcaster when I was young.
Me, bro.
She had my heart, man, for real. But one thing that didn't make sense to me in the show was how Ben ended up with Kai, fam. That shit wasn't adding up. Kai low-key didn't even like this man at all and only messed with him when he was in the alien form or if he was doing stuff for her. He had more of a brother-sister type of relationship instead of actually being married in the future. That shit was so forced by the writers, fam. She came out of nowhere, but we had fine shit like Esther out here, fam. Esther was adorable and had good chemistry with Ben, with liking the same shit as him, to always being affectionate around him. But this guy, Ben, was fumbling, fam. This guy was too blind to see that shit, man. But Esther was too buff. Charmcaster was too buff. All the Ben 10 girls were too tough. I'll be real, fam. They were sick, fam. Now going on to my next childhood crush.
What's the next one? What's the next one?
The best Nickelodeon shows of all time, The Fairly Odd Parents.
Trixie or Vicky? Trixie or Vicky?
And you're probably thinking I'm gonna say Timmy's mom or Trixie or even Vicky. Nah, bro, listen to me, because the ones I'm about to mention to you is gonna open a door in your...
Wait, the Tooth Fairy, the Tooth Fairy, the Tooth Fairy, Tooth Fairy.
You might remember Brittany from Fairly Odd Parents.
That's not who I thought he was going to say, gang. That's not who I thought he was gonna say.
Now, she barely appeared in the show. I think it was only a couple of episodes, so you're probably thinking, what the hell is this guy talking about? Oh, my brothers in arms, listen to me.
I remember
Brittany's build was actually diabolical. I mean, the curves drawn in shows like
Yo.
Fairy Your Parents and Total Drama Island was so sharp, they look like they can cut you, fam. But Britney was different. She had her hips moving in that episode one time, and that shit had me in a trance, bro. She was too buff, fam. But to be honest, there's not a lot to say about Britney. She barely appeared in the show. But for a small appearance in the show, she's probably my favorite in Fairy Your Parents. I'm gonna be so honest, bro.
I'll
She
give
was
him that.
bad, fam. Another
That's
crush
bad,
I had
fam.
in Fairy Your Parents was Princess Mandy. And listen, I'm just gonna keep it
Now,
100
that's
with
a
you,
valid
bro. I
one
was
too. I
into a
forgot
lot of
about the
psycho
princess.
women when I was a kid, fam. Like the episode where Trixie was going crazy because Timmy was the only person left on Earth. I like that. The crazy moments Azula would have an avatar.
Azula's peak. Azula's peak.
I like
Good
that.
job.
See them
I
in-
like you now, Waves. I like you. You're a big YouTuber now. You definitely loves you now. You like
Times
to go
to
here.
me when I was younger, it was the crazier the better, fam. And Mandy
Yes,
was
sir.
top tier in this department, fam. She was a crazy buff alien girl, and every time I saw her on screen, I was gassing over her every time. She
Yeah.
was fine as hell, fam. But again, she wasn't consistently in the show, but she was a crush for real. So was the Tooth Fairy, cause she was buff, fam. She was bang. Another childhood crush I had, which is a mad underrated one, was Sergeant Calhoun from Wreck-It Ralph, fam.
I don't like that one. I don't like that one. I don't like that one. I don't like that one.
100 with you. When I was younger, I didn't really mess with her like that. I didn't really
I don't
think
mess with
much
her
of
like
it. And at the time, I thought she sounded like an old lady, fam. I had no attraction to her whatsoever. But as I
Right?
developed as a human being and rewatched Wreck-It Ralph a couple years back, I can see that she was bad, fam. I was thinking that she was mad cool and I was messing with her completely. I would definitely become one of her soldiers. I'm not gonna lie. She was the baddie in Wreck-It Ralph. And my guy Fix It Felix is punching. I was gassing for that
Fix It
relationship.
Felix cooking it, huh?
Movie low key, they were mad cool. Sergeant Calhoun was
I
still in
don't
my
barely remember that
attention.
movie, but I did watch it. That's crazy. You watched one inch.
Every time she was on
Like I
screen,
rewatched.
I was activating my Sharingan and focusing up, fam. The whole time they were in the game, I was low-key forgetting that the whole point of Ralph being there was to try and steal the medal. I was too focused on Calhoun leading the player, bro.
No
And why
way.
wouldn't I be? She was fine as hell. She's really up there with the likes of Mrs. Incredible and Aunt Cass for real. Like, I used to think she kind of had an old lady voice, but I don't care because, you know, I like them raspy ass, dry ass voices, bro. It makes me move
No
crazy.
way.
And she has me moving some different type of way for real. I remember in secondary, every time we would have the conversation of Disney crushes, I would straight up bring her up like she was my trump card, fam. Won every debate possible. But Calhoun was seriously underrated and was a fine specimen to be gazing on. She would have me moving a week in the knee sometimes
I don't
because
like
I'm
that
telling
one,
you
though.
lot right now, she was fine as hell, fam.
Ain't
Now,
bad.
before we get into the next one, hopefully some of you man here are some anime watchers. And you know the usual type of anime girls that man be talking about. Like Hinata, Nami,
I always think Hinata's mid. And Toka, that's a lie. I ain't never heard no one go Toka as best girl. No one respects Tokyo Golden Pick 2025 unless you're a manga reader.
Toka, Android 18, Tsunade, and many, many more. But we go talk about my girl Mei Hatsume from My Hero, man.
Okay.
And Mei Hatsume was just one of the coldest characters in the show, and her personality
not
was
it.
what I
This is
was
not
chilling
it.
with
This
for
is not
real.
it, man.
And when I
This last
first
one
gazed
not
up on
it.
her for the first time, seeing her on screen in the sports festival arc, I was low-key getting gassed at seeing her, fam. I mean, most of the girls
Yeah.
about her were just hella attractive, to be honest, so you could really just say any of them. But my top
Okay.
three were Mei Hatsume, Kami, and Yaoyorozu. I'm not gonna lie, because they were baddies out here, especially Kami as well. They knew what they were doing when they were drawing her with full lips, making her look like she was doing the Kylie Jenner challenge back in the day. But she was out here getting my full undivided attention when she was on screen, no joke, fam. Now this brings me to the final crush of this video. And this person has
Who's the
a
final
huge
crush?
impact in this whole topic. I know that I said I would only bring up
Ooh.
underrated ones, but I have to talk about it in this video, fam. Because if I don't, this is not a childhood crush video. She is a pioneer to this shit. I'm talking about every time somebody talks about their number one, she's normally at the one, bro. Yes, my people. I'm talking about Chel from El Dorado.
Okay.
Fam. When I first
Okay.
saw Chel in the movie, it was
Okay.
like seeing a
You
massive
cooking?
dream in the Goofy movie, fam. Chel was a different type of crush I
Cooking
had growing
now.
up. The Road to El Dorado is one of the greatest underrated films to come from DreamWorks, man. And Chel was the cherry on top to this movie. In that one scene where she was walking back, oh my days, this shit had me locked in, bro. I had to zoom in and focus up, fam. Big man thing. Chel is a final boss level baddie, fam. She had me in a
Yeah.
different type of chokehold. Pause. I mean, when I first saw the movie and got to that scene where she's doing the freaky with Tulio, at the time, obviously, I didn't get the scene because I was a kid. But at my grown ass age now, I'm mad jealous
Yeah.
of Tulio, fam. I wish it was me, fam. It should
I
have
wish
been
it was
me.
me.
Everything Chel was doing in the movie was just showing how top tier she was. Like when they were playing football and she was hitting the armadillo on her hip. I wish I was the armadillo, fam. But she's a
Ain't
different
no way.
level of fine. I mean, Chel gotta be everybody's number one, fam. And I genuinely loved her in the movie. She was pretty as hell, smart, and did I mention pretty as hell? This guy Tulio is punching heavy, fam. All I can give this man Tulio is a standing ovation, 10 out of 10. Pulling Chel, W mans, bro.
Yes,
W
sir.
mans.
Yes, sir.
And this
Yes,
movie
sir.
is a go-to watch if you haven't seen it already. If you like Emperor's New Groove and Atlantis: The Lost Empire, go watch El Dorado. It's a slept
That's the other way movie. I watched El Dorado, but I ain't watched the other one.
or movie. This shit is fire. Everybody needs to see
Okay.
this, bro. Trust me. But my friends, now we're at the end of the flick. These are some of the childhood crushes I had, and trust me when I say I got way more. But I'm gonna save them for future videos like this if this vid goes crazy. Or if you got any that I haven't mentioned in this video, put them in the comments below because I want to see the different tastes some of you might have, fam. And before I depart from the video, I just want to say I appreciate every single one of you. At the time of recording, my latest video just hit 100k, and I just want to express my gratitude and just say I love all you, man, and I appreciate all the support. We're trying to build a nation here with this community and get to 1 mil ASAP, and we will, fam. We will. But thank you for watching until the end of this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Peace. Now, that was peak. That was peak video. Subscribe, bro. See that? Subscribe to you, Wiz. You peak, man. I'm definitely come back for more.